Hey folks, what's going on? It's Matt from Heroic Tactics, and stopped by my friendly local gaming shop. Maybe I should sit up straight so I look decent. But I finally got my pre-ordered Keyforge Starter Set, and I had pre-ordered an extra deck. And while I was there, they found a box of extra decks, so I bought 2 more. But yeah, I wanted to open this up. I'm pretty excited because I did an unboxing on Saturday with like one of the 2 decks that I had bought in that day, and I didn't really know what I was looking for. All I knew is that I really liked the sense of humor of this game. It was really cool. I was really excited. I got no Martians, which kind of bummed me out because I haven't seen how they play, but I just like the idea of playing little green men, and yeah. So I opened up the other pack that I got, and I was kind of bummed out because it was like 2 of the 3 factions were the same as the previous deck. And so I kind of have it in my head, and from what I've talked to at my local gaming shop, is that if you buy your boxes, I guess they're only starter kits, if you buy them from the same box, you get a lot of similar factions. So I was right there, and I opened these 2 puppies, and I did get Martians in one of them. But I also got the Wild and Shadows were the same faction in both of these. So if you wanted a different variety, you probably want to try to grab some from different boxes. But yeah. Oh, and there's 2. The starter kit has 2 main boxes in there. So let's get going. I ripped off the shrink wrap already because one of my weaknesses, or one of the things I hate doing, is opening shrink wrap and looking weak trying to do that. All right, so we got a little advertisement for Fantasy Flight game catalog. Ooh, Fallout. Got the instructions with how to play and quick reference. We got stuff to punch out. It's not a Fantasy Flight game if you don't spend 10 minutes punching stuff out. Woohoo! So we've got the little Doomaflages that they seem to be in every game from Fantasy Flight, which is kind of cool. It keeps everything packed and secure. You have your Learn to Play decks, and they are exactly the same. So everyone's got the same Learn to Play deck of Radiant, Argus the Supreme. The names of... So you get like an avatar that kind of determines what you can play and what you can do, and the names are amazing. They're computer generated, so you get some really cool stuff. I have a guy named Lester. I have a guy, the Toe Ripper. So I don't know. This game speaks to my sense of humor. So what do I do next? So these starter packs, or these identity cards, list the factions. These 3 factions are Logos, Sanctum, and Untamed. And Logos are like the robot mutants. Sanctum is like the protective knights. They got like a bunch of armor and knightly kind of stuff. And the Untamed are like wild animals, man. So if you want to go just like full on retro. But like, that's kind of cool. So I'm gonna crack these open. I want to see. You know, I picked up this game because I thought, it's not collectible. I can't go overboard, but I think I'm probably going to go overboard. So I'm going to try to be limited. I'm trying to limit myself to packs, to just a couple of decks. But we're going to crack this one open. It's got the name, I guess their mascot is this, it's the dwarf, or the giant, goblin, and troll deck theme. They have like earthquake themes. All right, my dude is. Oh God, man. Okay, and Yanga, the single-mindedly salty, and it's Brobnar. That's these guys. The giants and the trolls and the goblins and stuff like that. Dis, which is the demons, or I guess techno demons, and Shadows, which are the elves. And from what I gathered from like snooping around on Reddit and stuff like that, the elves seem to be overpowered because they steal. I guess the Ember, which is what they call mana, because it's a Richard Garfield game. And here I am trying to open the stupid plastic. Even with the quick pull tab, I could not do it. Single-mindedly salty. This is awesome. Oh yeah, so everything's got a unique back, and every card tells you what deck they're supposed to be, so nobody can really swap them out. And I guess Richard Garfield he wrote somewhere that he wanted us, you know, back in the. I played Magic right about 3rd edition, so like we could buy a starter deck and just like have tournaments with that starter deck. And just, you know, see who got lucky, who had fun, and do I mean, that was fun. I'm not going to lie. That was super fun. Just buying your starter deck and going at it and see who could play the best, who could make the best out of what you had. And so I get what he's trying to recapture with this game. But, yeah. So we got some shadows going on first. We have, let's see if I can make this. Thank you for playing box set. It's got an urchin. So I guess one of the key things about this game is that you have 3 factions in every deck, and you don't nothing costs anything to be brought out, but you get to pick a faction at the beginning of each turn, and you can only do stuff with that faction. So you can only play cards with that faction, you can only attack with that faction, you can only reap, which is how you get Ember with that faction. You can only discard cards out of your hand with that faction, so it's really cool. And this little bad boy right here, Urchin, has got an ability, so when you play it, you steal 1 Ember, 1 energy, 1 mana from your opponent, which just for playing it. So it's like, cool. It's got 1 attack and 1 defense, so it's going to kick the buckets pretty fast, and you get to play it again and steal more energy. Ooh, Umbra. This bad boy. It's got Skirmish, so like the first time... So those of you who are Magic players, remember, God, there was a special land, a legendary land called Arena, where you tapped it and you attacked a monster, attacked a creature with another one of your creatures. So that's the whole point of the game. The whole game is like an arena in that your creatures attack creatures directly, and you try to kill them because you can use them to gain energy and stuff like that. So it's like you slow them down. So this one's got an ability called Skirmish. So the first time that it's attacked each turn, it takes no damage. So someone has to attack it twice to get it off the board. And then it's got this gross ability called Fight. So if it attacks somebody and it lives, you get to steal energy. Yeah, the shadows seem pretty cool. The shadows seem cool and overpowered, so I'm not sure they're my... Oh my god. Sorry, I'm laughing. It's got this dude that looks like Finn from Jake and Finn in Adventure Time, so I'm like, yeah. The art, man, I don't know how to stop fanboying about this, but like the flavor text, the art, everything is up my alley in this game. I'm really hoping that I meet a bunch of really cool people like I did playing HeroClix, that people are into this, and I can play with fun people. Ooh. Okay, so this bad boy has got a 9 power, which is damn near the highest I've seen so far. So he's going to be smashing people left and right. And it says deals no damage when fighting. And damage dealt to non-specter neighbors are dealt to Shadow Soul. So it kind of, I guess it keeps people from attacking. You can funnel damage to some of the stuff, keep your dudes alive. Like that dude that deals damage or steals... Or this jerk right here. Nobby the Thief. It's elusive. Oh, that's the one that doesn't do damage this turn. I gotta look at Skirmish better. But this is my first time really looking at shadows. I didn't get any until this afternoon. And just as an action, I'm gonna steal your energy. Yeah, that's gross. You'd want that shadow thing up, sucking up damage so that they can't kill this jerk. It's got Skirmish Poison, and Poison is like Death Touch for Magic. And Fight, if you live that fight, you get to steal 1 things. Ooh, Carlo Phantom. I'm guessing Ganning Phantom's brother. Anytime you play an artifact, steal energy, mana, steal ember. Bad penny. Yeah, dude, these elves seem gross. And this deck looks cool. I hope it's a lot of fun to play because I just want to say I'm a Yunga, the single-mindedly salty. When she's destroyed, you return her to your hand so you can play her again. Or clog up your hand. She's only a 1. I don't know if there's an advantage. Ooh, a treasure map. Are you kidding me? If you've played no cards this turn, play this card. And then you gain 3 Ember, and you can't play any more cards the rest of this turn. But you need 6 Ember to get 1 of your 3 win conditions. So, I mean, that's one of those things that are going to piss off friends. I'm going to make other people salty. Relentless Whispers deals 2 damage to a creature. If that damage kills that creature, steal some energy. So you can't put out a small creature. Man, I'm not even halfway. 1, 2, 3. I got 3 more shadow cards left, and I'm already hating these jerks. Poison Wave just does 2 damage to each creature. Hidden Stash lets you archive a card, which lets you take a card out of your hand, place it on the field, so it's not in your hand. So when you draw back up to your 6 at the end of turn. I stopped talking right there because this card is gross. If your opponent has more energy mana than you, steal it. Repeat this until your opponent. Repeat this card's effect if your opponent still has more. So it's like balance. You're like, well, let's just keep doing this until we're equal, or repeat this card's effect if your opponent still has more things. So until we're equal, until if he had an odd amount, until I'm more than him. Oh my, dude! I understand why everybody hates shadows already. So like, I feel it. Next up is the Techno Demons, because they got robot eyes. Succubus. It's a creature. 3 during their draw steps, and this is just a power that's on all the time. So like, I can name another faction after I play this. Your opponent refills their hand to 1 less card. So it's like, yeah. Charette captures 3 Amber from your opponent. So the Amber just hangs out on this dude. This is another Charette, and if they kill him, they get their energy back. So they have to spend their time killing this guy instead of killing some other guy, like one of my elves that just like steals stuff. Dominator Bubble. It's an item. As an action, I can use a friendly creature. So I can call I can use Dis. I can use this bad boy as an action. And you exhaust stuff like you do in other Fantasy Fight games, but you tap it. And I'm wondering if they get to say tap because it's Richard Garfield. Or not say tap, but you like to use that mechanic because it's Richard Garfield. But use a friendly creature so I can use Dis stuff and then use my elves and have them steal stuff. Annihilation Ritual. We're getting rad here. When a creature would enter a discard pile from play, it is purged instead. And purge is removed from game, like in Magic. 3 Fates. I don't particularly like this card. I've played it in my other deck. And it just says, destroy the 3 most powerful creatures. So you got a bunch of weenies out, which I guess that makes sense because I got a bunch of weenie elves. That could be fun. But, Poltergeist. Play. When an artifact controlled by any player, use an artifact controlled by any player as if it was yours. Destroy that artifact. So I can use it and destroy it afterwards. This is a jerk deck, dude. The single-mindedly salty. Who hurt this guy? Why did you change stuff? I don't know what's going on. Mind Barb. Your opponent discards a card random from your hand. Yep. Hand of Dis. This is a card I wasn't particularly excited about. Destroy a creature not on the flank. And This game, you place where you place your creatures matters. If you pretend these are creatures for a second, you know, you place them on a row. The stuff on the ends are your flank. The stuff on the ends are your flank, but so the stuff right here is your non-flank. But in my experience of this game, creatures come and go pretty fast. So the ability to KO, I mean, you're mostly going to be like this, and I found it mainly like this. So there's nothing not on your flank for that card to affect. So I'm not 100% on that bad boy. We got Fear, return or unsummon for you Magic players, and then Rise. Choose a house. Return each creature from that house from your discard pile into your hand. Gain 1 chain. So chain's kind of an equalizer. It reduces the number of cards you can draw during your draw phase, and it kind of keeps stuff interesting. It keeps things honest, I guess, because there's no cost to these cards, so there's got to be some sort of drawback to these super awesome cards. Cramp. So we're in Brobnar, who's it's a Crump. Oh, meet the Crumps, y'all. It's a 6 bad boy. After an enemy creature is destroyed, fighting Crump, your opponent loses. The controller of the enemy creature loses 1 ember. So that's pretty cool. More Crumps. Heeb the Huge. And he's in my other deck, so I'm not super excited about seeing him. Just a big baddie. Deal 2 damage to each undamaged character, which is cool, which lets you deal some extra damage to folks. Headhunter, the mascot. He is fight to gain 1. If you lose the fight, he's only a 5 attack, so he's about average, I think, in terms of what I've seen so far. So gain 1 ember, which could be super rad. Fire Spitter before fights. So you declare to fight with them. Deal 1 damage to each enemy creature, which is cool. The War Chest. There's a teddy bear in the War Chest. Can that show up? Is that going to show up at all? Is there any way you're going to be able to see this teddy bear in? Oh my. I'm so sorry for constantly repeating this, but I love the idea that all these characters, like how funny this game is. How this character fits my sense of humor so much. Gain an ember for each enemy creature that was destroyed in a fight this turn. So, oh, I got 2 war chests. I got two teddy bears. Banner of Battle. Each friendly creature gets +1 power, and that's an item, so I think that's going on forever. And not faction specific. Punch. Deal 3 damage to 1 creature. So Lightning Bolt. Burn the stockpile. If your opponent has 7 or more ember, they lose 4 ember. Which is important because you need to have 6 ember at the beginning of their turn. So during your turn, you're going to be like, oh, you got 7? Tough patootie. Okay, so I think Blood Money works out the way like this. But it says, place 2 ember from the common supply, or like the bank, onto an enemy creature. So I think when you kill it, it's like killing a creature with captured ember, and you get that ember back. So it's like a bonus for killing a creature. And Anger. Ready and fight with a friendly creature. So it can be any friendly creature, so not just the factions you have active that turn. Oh, single-mindedly salty guy, I am stoked about you. Alright, so where did I put the other one? Oh, it's in the box. Back here in the box. So we're going for number 2. I don't know. Do y'all want me to open the starter decks? Because, I mean, the training decks, because they're exactly identical. There's like, everyone who gets a starter is going to have these cards. And I guess, yeah, we'll crack them open in a second. Let me see what I get first. Let me do my at Christmas time. So we want Martians. And I guess I got one more box to open if I don't get more Martians. Trying to think, because there's 7 factions. So I think there is a faction that I never seen yet. K. Fremont, the Tower Titaness. Brobnar Logos Dis, which is almost identical. Well, not almost identical, but like I have most of these dudes. So, or I have these factions. And it's not as cool as the Eternally Salty or Forever Salty or whatever. Oh my goodness. This is what she looks like. Kickstow the Adventurer. Isn't he a main character? Skirmish. This is what Skirmish does. When you use this creature to fight, it is dealt no damage in return. What a jerk. And then when he fights, he draws a card. So he's a robot scientist guy, and he's got 4 arms, and he kind of looks like Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like young Obi-Wan, not cool Obi-Wan. The Ganymede Archivist. They has a bunch of robots. And then as a Reap. So Reap is, you tap it for Ember, and then you get bonus abilities depending on what the Reap ability. So everybody is a mana bird, but they can do cool stuff too. Archive a card. So you get the card out of your hand and draw it again. 2 of these bad boys. Dr. Escotera. Yeah. So we're, I do like the Logos as a faction. I like Mad Scientist too. He's a cyborg scientist, and he gains 1 Ember for each forged key that your opponent has when you play him. And I got 2 of these bad boys. Bad boys. Oh, it's gonna be so great. It's like, it's one of those. From the 2 games I've seen, it's kind of hard to come from behind. So I'm kind of interested to see how that works. But that was limited, data set, very limited data sets. Dextre. I'm gonna call him Dexter because why not? Put Dextre. If he's destroyed, just put him on top of your deck. That's kind of lame. I'm not sure I like that. I think my opponent's gonna take very specific advantage of that. Oh, you can't swap out cards. It's got the name of the deck on the bottom, so you can't swap out cards. So I don't know how that's gonna play. I gotta play him more and see what I think about him. Brain Eater. He's a big old 6 beast. After a creature is destroyed fighting Brain Eater, draw a card. So that's really cool. Into that. Spangler Box. Ooh, I hope it's an Egon Spangler related thing. Action, purge a creature in play. If you do, opponent controls the Spangler box. If the Spangler box leaves play, return all cards purged from the Spangler box. So I believe there's several cards with that kind of effect in Magic. So Nito Posquito. Oh, you're the one. Yes, you guys get out of the way. Nope. Did I leave you alone? Man, pretty up my scene, please. Library of Babel. As an action, draw a card. Sloppy Lab Work. Archive a card and discard a card. So, oh my goodness. And the immediately next card is Lab Work, and it just lets you archive a card. So Sloppy card, so drop back to Sloppy Lab Work, and regular Lab Work does cool stuff. Dimension Door. Play. For the remainder of your turn, any Ember you would gain from reaping is for the remainder of the game, any Ember you would gain from reaping, so if I was tapping stuff to get my Ember, is stolen from your opponent instead. Super rad. I'm into that. We've got Dis up next. Not impressed by Devils. Your opponent when you reaps with him, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Okay, that's kind of cool. 2 of these Toscan guys. Tentacus. Because you cuss with his tentacles. Opponent must use 1 Ember to use an artifact. Neat. Another Succubus. Make them draw less cards. Shaffles. At the end of your turn, your opponent loses 1 Ember. Oh, that's not cool. And I got 2 of these bad boys. I would be really grumpy about this. Pit Demon. I'm into this bad boy. I know this guy is sick. 5 attack, and as an action, he steals Ember. Sure. Go ahead and try to kill me. You'll probably take a couple attacks, and I'm stealing Ember each time. Life Ward. It's an artifact. Omni, so you can... I don't remember what Omni does, but it's something cool. Sacrifice Life Ward. Your opponent cannot play creatures during the next turn. So, yeah, that's kind of cool. Gongozo. Deal 3 damage to a creature. If it's not destroyed, your opponent discards a random card from their hand. Neat. Fear. Arise. Arise. Okay. Alright, so at the Brahmo Beer, this card is called, it's an upgrade, and I have to look into how to play those. It's called Yo Mama Mastery. This creature gains taunt, and then when you play it, you fully heal this creature. And the flavor text says, Yo Mama's so tiny. A Crump, Headhunter, a Grenade Snib. It's a goblin. When it's destroyed, your opponent loses 2 embers. A Ganger Chieftain. You may ready and fight with a neighboring creature. Neat stuff. Valder gets +2 damage when attacking an enemy creature on the flank, but she's a 6. It's 6 attack already. She's already going to blast people's faces off. War Song, and it's the guy singing karaoke. And it says, for the remainder of your turn, gain 1 ember each time a friendly creature fights. So you want to go nuts. Loot the Bodies. I like this one. This card right here. It says, play. I got 2 of these bad boys. It says, for the remainder of each turn, gain 1 ember each time an enemy creature is destroyed. And then Champion's Challenge. It's an action. Play. Destroy each enemy creature except for the most powerful enemy creature. Destroy each friendly creature except for the most powerful friendly creature. Ready and fight with that remaining creature. So it's like clearing the field. And then making the big bads fight. Burn the Stockpile. Play. If your opponent has 7 more or more... Oh yeah, I already talked about this. Ember, they lose 4 ember. Yay! I do not like the fact that you get very similar factions in closely related decks. That kind of bums me out. I'd like to see all the factions so I know how they play and know what to do. All right, let's see. Let's see about these bad boys. This is the Learn to Play decks. Oh yeah, and it's got markers, so it reminds you. This is the +1 power marker, so you know your creature's got +1 power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 of these bad boys. And it's got a stun marker, so you know things are stunned. When this creature is used, it does nothing. Then you discard this counter. I'm guessing 8 of these bad boys. We got your chain marker. Like I said, this is the great equalizer when you start using super powerful cards. Urchin. So we got some elves. You know, you can steal Urchin. Sabretooth. Sabretooth comes into play and ready. And I guess one of the interesting things about this game is, like, unlike Magic, your characters all, you know, they come into play tapped, but your untap phase is after your main phase. So it's at the end of your turn instead of at the beginning of your turn. Shadow Self. Dodger. Fight. Steals 1 gold. It's got a little reminder to how all this stuff works. Naughty the Thief. Bad Penny. Seeker Needle. As an action, does 1 damage to a creature. If it destroys a creature, gain 1 ember. So that's how you finish your dudes off. Oh, and this is the Miss Onyx Senacious. Oh, what does she look like? Oh, she's got so much broad blobnar. This is Miss Onyx. She's this little... And this is the other. Alright, and then we got Too Much to Protect. Steal all but 6 of your opponent ember. I don't know how useful that's going to be, because they're still forging a key. Poison Wave, Nerve Blast. Steal 1 ember. If you do 2 damage to a creature. And it's pretty cool. Toxin. So we got Dis up next, and makes him discard a card. The Terror. I'm always going to think of the Terror from the Tick. Both versions of the Tick. I guess there's 3 versions of the Tick, but the cartoon version and the most recent Amazon version. Play. If your opponent has no ember, gain 2 ember. It's a Demon King and a Demon and a Knight. I'm going to do that. A 5 attack creature. Yeah. Stealer of Souls, 6 attack. If a creature is destroyed fighting Stealer of Souls, purge that creature and gain +1 gold. So creatures cycle out random, like, a lot. And when you run out of cards, you just reshuffle your deck and keep going. So purging creatures that it kills, and you gain an Ember out of it, is kind of gross because he's a 6 attack, so he's going to be taking out your opponent's big guns. That's really cool. I'm assuming Homeboy is available in general population, but I think he's neat. Schooler. If your opponent has 4 or more Ember, steal 1. And I had this guy shows up in some of my other disc decks, so I'm not entirely through with him. I gotta see him in more action. Dust Imp. If it's destroyed, you gain 2 Ember. Oh my goodness. That's great because it's only 2 attacks. So I'm gonna be attacking big boys left and right with this bad boy. Gaining 2 Ember. Charette. That's the capture 3 Ember. Dominator Bauble. Use a friendly creature. Mind Barb. Make your opponent discard cards. Hand a Deece. The one that I'm not really thrilled with. Fear. Blood of Titans. We're in Blobnar territory now, yo. This creature gets +5 power. So someone thinks they're gonna... Yeah, you get your little baby and you make him Buffy. Smash! Stun a creature. Oh, it's a dude. It's a creature that stuns creatures. When you play it, stuns creatures. I'm down for that. Headhunter, Dane. Fight together.